Mic check. Yes, this is your humble host, Marcus Harper. And make sure you check out my show, the Marcus Harper Podcast, on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes, hop aboard this train of thought. Weekly, 60 minutes of work. I got you. Sports talk, soul beats, and life. Again, the Marcus Harper Podcast, weekly on the SME Network. Check me out. Life is good.
What is ID Life? Well, over the last 18 years, a group of scientists and doctors have been working on the development of a one-of-a-kind nutritional supplement program that takes all the guesswork out of what you need and delivers your truly personalized pharmaceutical-grade nutrition with your name on it directly to your door. Through the integration of thousands of medical and scientific studies, answers you provide to the free assessment, and more than 5,470 algorithms that process the data, ID Nutrition recommends what you need, leaves out what you don't, and blocks things known to the system to have possible adverse effects based on the answers you provide. The result is a program that is revolutionizing the health and wellness industry. Welcome to ID Life. For more information, just go to thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. That's thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Footballsportsapp.com. What is it? It's the first live action mobile sports app played in real time and a cool way to immerse yourself in the game. Make coaching calls just like the pros. Check out the video. Download for free this fall and register now again at footballsportsapp.com. Want to be part of this new exciting technology and make money? Fill out the short form at the bottom of the website and mention TDSS. Again, footballsportsapp.com. Yes, sir. Hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. Let's go, baby. Yes, sir. The Doug Stewart Show, sponsored by footballsportsapp.com. Thank you so much for joining your boy, man. All right, I think I'm done preaching today. Man. 404-382-0338. I might not be totally done preaching, but I think I'm done preaching for the most part. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. One quick story I guess we need to mention, man. The Denver Broncos have figured out who their starting quarterback's going to be, and it's Trevor Siemian. Head coach Gary Kubiak said that Trevor Siemian will be the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos, man, when they take on the Carolina Panthers on September 8th. It is the next step in Siemian's staggering offseason journey. The 2015 seventh-round pick, whose lone snap on the field last season was a kneel down just before halftime in the Broncos' December 20th game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, will now succeed Peyton Manning. The last time Siemian started a game, it was for Northwestern on November 22nd, 2014 at Purdue. He's consistently shown he's made the most of his time with Peyton Manning on the Broncos' run to Super Bowl last season. He's been the most consistent player at the position over the last few weeks. And he's going to be the starter, man. For his career at Northwestern, this Trevor Siemian cat he completed under 60% of his passes and had 27 touchdowns to 24 interceptions. Yeah, you heard me correct. The man had 27 touchdowns and 24 interceptions, and now he's the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. Congratulations, I guess. Wow. Now, here's the thing. Clearly, the Broncos have been watching these cats every single day. Him, Mark Sanchez, and who's the other dude, the draftee that they drafted out of Memphis, Paxton Lynch. So they've been watching these cats, all of the film, every single snap. And so they feel like that this cat should be the starter. He's the best out of the three options at this particular point. You know, at some point, Paxton Lynch is going to end up starting because that's what happens. If they draft you in the first round, you're going to start. So even if Simeon does great this year, you know, or if he does average, at some point, Paxton Lynch is going to be the starter. All right, that being said, I've been railing about, you know, this whole idea of just paying a quarterback a ton of money and he's not worth it. You know, and a better strategy, a better plan would be to just spend that money that you would have given to a quarterback, an average quarterback, and spread it around the rest of your team, in particular to your defense. You know, give big money to a free agent defensive end that can go get the quarterback, a cover shutdown cornerback or whatever. But just don't give money to a quarterback because that's what they've been doing over the last couple of years. So me in particular, you know, this is a thought that you probably won't hear anywhere else. I don't have a problem with this at all. The way that they've done this, the way that they didn't want to go after a big-name free agent quarterback and give him all of this money and go back into the season, into the season with that type of setup. So, I mean, Simeon can't be that much worse than what Peyton Manning was last year. I mean, serious. And it's very simple to me. He can't be that much worse than what Peyton Manning was last year. Now, the big thing, and I'm sure they're telling him this, is, dude, just don't turn the ball over. We'll be good. That's all that we're asking you to do. Don't throw the ball to the other team. They're going to run the football. Denver does that very well. They've got the best defense in football, arguably. Maybe them or Carolina. And they've got a formula for success. So I actually applaud John Elway, the GM, and Gary Kubiak, the coach, because I think it's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my sports fandom is paying a cat that you know ain't worth the money, a lot of money, just because you don't have a better option. No, you do have a better option. Put that money into your defense. You know, there's been many times a team has won a Super Bowl because of their defense solely and had an average to below average quarterback, I would say. A lot of names come off the top of your memory bank. Trent Dilfers of the world, Brad Johnsons of the world, you know. So it can be done. And it's the principle of the matter as well. Why would you give somebody money that you know that they're not worth? That's stupid. So I applaud the Denver Broncos, man. We'll see. We will see. Let me read some messages in the chat room on Spreaker.com from a man, T-Dub. T-Dub says, we march, they complain. We riot, they complain. We sit, they complain. Yet our complaints are never addressed. If that doesn't tell you how America feels about the black man and your rights as a human being, then nothing will. That's the other part of this whole story, and great post, T-Dub. I appreciate it. That's the other part of this whole story, man. With all of this rhetoric being thrown around and this distraction and this narrative-changing theme about Colin Kaepernick not standing for the flag, no one's addressing the point of him doing this protest. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nobody's talking about why he did this. Everybody's talking about, you know, him not standing for the flag and he should do it a different way and this, that, and the other, and trying to, you know, push this false narrative once again about Colin Kaepernick's trying to diss the military, which is a damn lie. You know, he said it, you know. To the bigger point, the issue, what he's been trying to get across, the reason he did this is to help spur some change. And once again, in stopping the killing of unarmed black men in the streets like dogs. Like that's all being missed. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. That's all being missed. There's been a lot of conversation about, secondary type stuff. The point and the reason he did it is because he wants some type of change to what's been going on in America over the last couple of years. I keep going back to the benchmark and when this whole Black Lives Matter and this conversation really started, to Trayvon Martin. Yeah, I mean, the whole point of this is being missed because of some BS rhetoric and some narrative changing, crap that they're putting out there. Stop killing us in the streets, man. It's as simple as that. From Cornelius Small, he says, I will never forget the night in Columbus, Georgia. I drove by what I thought was a traffic stop. It turned out an unarmed and innocent man was murdered in a failed drug bust. I believe that particular, I don't know exactly if you're talking about, I think you have the video. Let me keep reading the damn email or the post. They first tried to tarnish the victim's name, but eventually realized they had the wrong person, wrong car, no guns or drugs. Officer walked, no convictions, but eventually the city and local corporate entities put together some funds for his wife and kid, R.I.H. or R.I.P. Kenneth Walker. And he actually, my man Cornelius Small, left a YouTube video. I think I talked about this particular case a couple of months ago where the guy that you're talking about, Kenneth Walker, I believe, and I may be wrong, but I believe I'm very strong in my belief that this is actually one of my frat brothers. And the video is actually, from the police dash cam, is actually online. One of the saddest things that you ever see in your life, man. And all of this stuff is sad. I continue to go back to the Walter Scott thing. That's the most incredible, most despicable thing I think I've ever seen in my life. But this story about Kenneth Walker is right there. I mean, the guy's laying on his stomach. They're on top of his back trying to subdue him or whatever. And I don't think he was even fighting. He was just trying to tell him that, what are y'all doing? They got the complete wrong person. And they're trying to put cuffs on this guy. And he's lost. He don't know what the hell's going on. And all of a sudden, one of the officers just walks up and kneels down and puts the gun behind his head and just pulls the trigger. Yeah. And the officer, never went to jail, wasn't arrested or anything like that. The story, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the Walter Scott story in Charleston, South Carolina, I think is unique, and I'm not 100% sure if this is accurate or not. And I'm pretty sure it can't be. But the big distinction in the Walter Scott case, and the officer's name is Schrager, the big distinction and the difference between that case and all these other cases where the police kill unarmed black men falsely, is that they actually charged this officer Schrager in Charleston, South Carolina. They charged him. And I think they might even be seeking the death penalty or something like that, which is unheard of. Like all these different cases, the dozens of cases that you can throw out, like all of the other officers, they may have been charged, but they weren't convicted. Or maybe they weren't even charged, or they were trying to charge them, but charges were dropped before they actually had a trial, something to that degree. And so the situation in Charleston is much different because they've actually got charges. He's going to trial. He is going to trial. Where it's a citizen that kills, like the Trayvon Martin thing and the George Zimmerman guy. Zimmerman wasn't a police. Like rarely, I believe, and maybe this is the first time ever, but rarely are charges actually brought up against a police officer and they go to trial. Usually maybe they try to charge him, but they throw it out before it actually goes to trial. That's the distinction. That's the difference in what's going on in Charleston. So yeah, man, we living in a time, Fessa. We are living in a time, man, incredible times. Once again, since Trayvon Martin, man, it's just this country has just been it's been crazy. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It's been absolutely crazy. And Colin Kaepernick brought about a lot of conversation.